All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody who's joining in from Sri Lanka and around the world for our April monthly town hall, CoinCeylon Intersect Sri Lanka Hub. So I know this month has been quite eventful for all of us as an ecosystem, as well as the Sri Lanka Hub as well. So we have quite a bit of things to get through today. And the difference today is we are not having any guest speakers joining us today, unfortunately. However, we do have a lot of things that are going on in the ecosystem to discuss. So we have the Intersect elections coming up. We have it's ongoing currently. We have the budgeting process taking place. So there are a lot of things that to discuss today. So I would like to welcome all of you today. Just to say a few words in Sinhala. සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් සියලුම දෙනාට අපගේ CoinCeylon Intersect Sri Lanka Hub ඉවෙන්ට් එකට එකතු වීම ගැන ඔයගොල්ලෝ සාදරයෙන් පිළිගන්නවා. ඒ වගේම අද දිනේ අපි කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා ගොඩක් දේවල් Cardano ecosystem එක ඇතුලේ මේ දිනවල සිද්ධ වෙන දේවල් Cardano අයවැය ගැන අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මේ පැවැත්වෙන Intersect මැතිවරණය ගැන අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් විස්තර අද දවස් ඇතුළත අපි කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි අද දවස් ඇතුළත මේ කතා කරන දේවල් වලට අමතරව අපේ මේ අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ ඇතුළත අපි සිද්ධ කරේ දේවල් මොනවාද ඒ වගේ දේවල් ගැනත් අපි කතා කරන්න දේවල් තියෙනවා ඉස්සරහට අපි මොනවද කරන්න යන්නේ කියන දේවලුත් එක්ක අපි අද මීටින් එක පටන් ගමු. So just to go through the agenda today, we have the introduction and the latest hub updates that's been happening in here in Sri Lanka, and also we will be going through the budgeting proposals review in-person workshop. I see many of whose names are popping up here. I think some of you have been a part of either the virtual session or our in-person session that was held. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about the TEAMZ event in Japan, as well as the Blockchain Expo, which also took place in Japan in the Sri Lanka Hub. Members, myself, and also Malik were able to attend one of these events, which is the Builderfest, which happened in Vietnam. And so there's a lot of events that has been happening around the globe during this month. And we are going to be giving a small update on our Intersect Committee Elections and how you can vote. The voting is still on. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And also we will get into newsletter updates by Sanjay. We'll go through the updates. If you missed out on what really happened within the Intersect past month, you can get an update through that. So, and then we will take up any questions that the community currently has to give us. So just to say a few words about that also in Sinhala. අද දවසේ අපි කතා කරන දේවල් අතරදී අපි කතා කරන්න ලෑස්තිලා තියෙනවා අපගේ Cardano අයවැය සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපේ ඉවෙන්ට්ස් දෙකක් පැවැත්වුණා මේ මාසේ. එකක් virtual අනිත් එක in person event එකක්. ඒ ඉවෙන්ට්ස් දෙකේ සිද්ධ වුණේ මොනවද කියලා අපි කතා කරන්න ලෑස්තිලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම TEAMZ Web3 and AI Summit සහ Blockchain Expo කියන expos දෙක පැවැත්වුණා ජපානයේ. ඒකට ශ්‍රී ලංකන් හබ් එකෙන් අපි සහභාගී වුණා කීප දෙනෙක්. ඉතින් ඒක ගැන අපි කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම Builderfest Cardano ජාලයේ දේවල් හදන එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ඒවත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන ඒ ටෙක්නොලොජි එකත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන ගොඩක් අය ආපු ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් පැවැත්ුණේ ඩනයින් නගරේ වියට්නාමේ. අපි ඒක ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලා කතා කරන්න වෙලා වෙන් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම Intersect මැතිවරණය මම කලින් කිව්වා වගේම මේ දවස්වල ඒක පැවැත්වෙනවා. අපි ඒක ගැන පොඩි විස්තරයක් කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඊළඟට අපි newsletter updates මේ මාසෙ තුලත් Intersect එකේ වෙච්ච දේවල් ඔයගලන්ට මග හැරුණා නම් ඔයගලන්ට ඒක ගැන විස්තර දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි ඒක ගැන කතා කරනවා. ඒ වගේ ටික ඔක්කොම ඉවරුණායින් පස්සේ අපි question and answer session එකක් තියෙනවා. අපිට ඒකෙදි ඔයගලන්ට මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් ඒක අපෙන් අහන්න. Yadurshan, would you like to say a few words in Tamil?
Yes. வணக்கம் எல்லாருக்கும். இந்த ஏப்ரல் மாதத்துக்கான இன்டர்செக்ட் ஹப்புக்கான இவெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்ததுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. ஸோ இன்றைக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் என்னெல்லாம் இந்த ஏப்ரல் மாதத்தில் நாங்கள் பண்ணியிருக்கோம்னு நாங்கள் முதல்ல பார்ப்போம். ஸோ இன்றைக்கு நாங்கள் வந்து என்னத்தை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம்னா ஏப்ரல் மாதத்தில் வந்து நாங்கள் என்னென்ன ஹப்பில் வந்து என்ன அப்டேட்ஸ் இருக்குது அதை பற்றி நாங்கள் முதல்ல பேசுவோம். பிறகு வந்து பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல் வந்து நடந்தது, வெர்ச்சுவலாகவும் நடந்தது, நேராகவும் நடந்தது. ஸோ அது பற்றி அதில் என்னென்னலாம் நடந்தது என்று பற்றி நாங்கள் பேசுவோம். பிறகு வந்து டீம்ஸ் அண்ட் ஒரு ஈவெண்ட் வந்து வேற மற்றது பிளாக் செயின் எக்ஸ்போன்ற 2 ஈவெண்ட் வந்து ஜப்பான்ல நடந்தது. அதுல வந்து என்னென்ன நடந்ததை பற்றி நாங்க அதுல எங்க ஆட்களும் போனாங்க, அதை பற்றி நாங்க பேசுவோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் பில்ட் ஃபெஸ்ட் அப்டேட்ன்றது இந்த கார்டானோட வந்து பின்னால வந்து கணக்க பேர் வேலை செய்யறாங்க. அது சம்பந்தமான எல்லா கணக்க விஷயங்கள் வந்து வியட்நாம்ல நடந்தது, அதை பற்றி நாங்க அடுத்ததா பேசுவோம். பிறகு வந்து இன்டர்செக்ட் கமிட்டி எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் இப்ப நடந்து கொண்டு இருக்கு, அப்ப அதை பற்றியும் நாங்க பேசுவோம். பிறகு கடைசியா வந்து நியூஸ் லெட்டர் வந்து இந்த அப்டேட்ஸ் என்ன நடக்குதுன்னு பற்றி பேசுவோம். பிறகு எல்லாம் முடிய அது சம்பந்தமான கேள்விகள் பற்றி நாங்க கண்டறிஞ்சு கொள்வோம். எஸ், பேக் டு யூ காமிந்து.
Thank you, Adushan. With that, we will go on to the first item on the agenda. This is something that we have been talking a lot about, which is our workshop series that has been happening at the University of Kelaniya. The past entire month, we've been doing sessions throughout the month, 3-hour workshop sessions that has been carried out at the University of Kelaniya at the Computing and Technology faculty. So the third workshop was held this month as well. And a lot of the people who have, a lot of the students who actually took part in it are now able to get involved in the Cardano ecosystem as well. We have one more session left, which we will be doing this month at the University of Kelaniya as well. So without me talking too much about it, I think we'll go into a small highlights video so you can get an idea of it. Just give me a minute. I'll just get the video started. Right. So with that, you could see a little bit of the highlights of what really went on during that session. During the previous session, we actually introduced the Lace wallet to the students as well, and we went on to a little bit more in depth into how you can get started with creating your own NFTs and things like that, among other things. Just to say a few words on that in Sinhala. අප University of Kelaniya Computing and Technology faculty එකේ මේ පැවැත්වුණ event එක ඇත්තටම අපි මේ අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ පුරාවටම events කීපයක්ම පැවැත්වුණා. ඒවා පැය 3කට අධික වෙලාවක් workshops තමයි අපි ඉදිකරම පැවැත්වුවේ. ඉතින් ඒකට ගොඩක් ශිෂ්‍යයෝ ශිෂ්‍යයෝ සහභාගී වුණා. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලන්ට තිබුණ ප්‍රශ්න निराකරණය කරගන්නවා වගේම මේ blockchain තාක්ෂණය කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? ඒකත් එක්ක කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉන්වෝල්ව් වෙන්නේ? ඒකත් එක්ක ඔයගොල්ලන් කොහොමද දේවල් ඩෙවලොප් කරන්න කියන අන්ඩර්ස්ටෑන්ඩින් එක දෙන්න තමයි මේ workshop series එක තියෙන්නේ. තව එක workshop series එකක් ඉතුරුලා තියෙනවා University of Kelaniya එක. ඒක අපි මේ මාසේ පවත්වන්න තීරණය කරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒකේ විස්තර තමයි වීඩියෝ එක ඔයගොල්ලන් දැක්කේ. ඉතින් අපි ඒ වගේම ඉදිරියටත් තව ලංකාවේ පුරා තියෙන විශ්වවිද්‍යාල කීපකම මේ වගේ workshops සහ වැඩසටහන් කරන්න plan කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් ඒව ගැන විස්තර ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉදිරියට දැනගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. Yadurshan, would you like to say a few words on that?
Yes, okay, yeah. ஸோ இந்த மாதம் வந்து நாங்கள் கெலனியா யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் வந்து 3வது ஒர்க் ஷாப் வந்து நாங்கள் பண்ணியிருந்தோம். அதாவது ஒரு 3வது ஒர்க் ஷாப், அதாவது கடந்த மாதங்களாகவே வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து கெலனியா எல்லா யூனிவர்சிட்டி 2-3 யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் வந்து எங்களோட ஒர்க் ஷாப்பை வந்து நாங்கள் பண்ணி கொண்டு தான் இருந்தோம். அப்போ இந்த முறை லைக் ஒர்க் ஷாப்பில் வந்து நாங்கள் போன முறை என்ன பண்ணோம்னா நாங்கள் லேஸ் பற்றி எல்லாம் நாங்கள் கணக்கு படிப்பிச்சோம். அப்போ இந்த முறை வந்து நாங்கள் என்ன பண்ணோம்னா ஒரு என்எஃப்டியை வந்து எப்படி உருவாக்குறது, எப்படி அதை வச்சு நாங்கள் எப்படி வேலை செய்யறது என்றெல்லாம் நாங்கள் பார்த்தோம். அது மட்டும் இல்லாம இன்னும் வார காலங்கள்ல வந்து நாங்க இன்னும் கணக்க பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள்ல வந்து நாங்க இன்னும் வந்து பிளாக் செயின் என்ன பிளாக் செயின் பற்றியான ஒரு விளக்கம் அது எல்லாருக்குமே நாங்க கொடுக்கறதுக்கு தான் நாங்க பிளான்ல இருக்கிறோம். அப்ப அவ்வளவுதான். Yeah, back to you, Kam.
So up next we have the budget proposals review in-person workshop which took place. I think I myself was not in the country for this particular workshop, so I did however join as an observer. So I would like to invite Malik to say a few words on this. Over to you, Malik.
All right. Hey everyone. Yeah, as you know, I'm sure most of you are aware that in the Cardano ecosystem right now, we're trying to figure out the budget for the next year. So the process has changed a few times. However, now we are set on this situation where we are trying to figure out which proposals, like these proposals are submitted to us by, by the whole community. It was like anyone in the ecosystem could submit these proposals, and the D-reps are then in the end going to decide which of these proposals are going to be passed on and funded. However, since there's a lot of proposals in there, we can't unfortunately expect our D-reps to go through every single one of them. And, as you can imagine, it's an extremely hard job. So one of the things that was proposed was like, what if the community can actually help with this situation? So this is by some of the hubs, Intersect hubs, they were asked to select a few proposals at random and then try and review them. So for that, we had a workshop in Sri Lanka, and during that time, we selected 5 proposals at random, and those 5 proposals were then analyzed by the attendees. And as somebody who attended this event, all I can say is it was a really engaging event. Some of you guys, I even noticed some of your names on the chat, some of you there, it was a very heated, certain moments it was heated, certain points we had a clear split in the room, and those points, however, we all managed to work through them and try to come to a consensus as to what exactly we as a group decided on. And there were some clear winners and losers when it came to these proposals. Some of these proposals outright were rejected by the group, and while some of these projects were adored and given their seal of approval to say. And what I can say is, something that I saw while attending this event was how much passion is there within the community, how much the community cares about these problems, these projects that are coming. How do I say, it's really inspiring to see how so many different people think about the same problem, how all of us have we have the same problem. However, once everybody gets together, we get to create a sort of a consensus that none of us could have achieved on our own. And to see this thing happening all over the world, to see this thing happening in Sri Lanka, it's I don't know, at least for me, it's a very inspiring thing to see. So again, we know our event was held on Easter Sunday, and I honestly need to personally, I want to thank every single one of you who attended, even though you had prior engagement, for showing up on such a short notice. We really appreciate it, and you guys spent close to about 4 to 5 hours sitting in that room and going through these proposals. And we all of us from CoinCeylon, we genuinely thank every single one of you for showing up, and it means a lot that all you guys show up to our events. And with that, let me try and explain what I just said in Sinhala as well for our viewers from Sri Lanka. So Intersect එකේ මේ දවස්වල දැන් budget proposal එකක් වෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලෝ අපේ events වලට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා, අපේ town halls වලට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් අය දන්නවා දැනට අපේ මේ Intersect එකේ කියන්නේ Cardano ecosystem එකේ දැනට budget එකක් pass වෙන්න ඒක ගැන අපි දැන් argue කර ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ වෙලාවේ දැන් මේ process එක චුට්ටක් වෙනස් වෙලා. දැන් මේ අලුතෙන් තියෙන process එක තමයි D-reps ලට උදව් කරනවා අපි මේ community එකෙන් අපිට දීලා තියෙන අපිට pass කළා කියන අපිට submit කරලා තියෙන proposals ටික දැන් අපි හැමෝම එකතු වෙලා ඒවා review කරලා ඒවා අපි online අපි submit කරනවා අපේ reviews ටික. ඉතින් ඒ process එක different hubs වලින් ලංකාවේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ලෝකෙ වටේම හැමෝම proposals හදාගෙන ඒ proposals අපි මේ 5ක් සිලෙක්ට් කරලා ඒවා අපි රිවිව් කරනවා. ඒක තමයි අපි දැන් ඔය දැන් ඊස සන්ඩේ වල අපි CoinCeylon අපි මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් ඕගනයිස් කරේ. ඒ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට ඕගොල්ලෝ කට්ටිය ගොඩක් අය අටෙන්ඩ් වුණා. ඒක ඉතින් අපි කරේ ප්‍රොපෝසල්ස් 5ක් අරගෙන ඒ ප්‍රොපෝසල් එකින් එක අරගෙන ඒවා අපි හිමින් මේ රිවිව් කරන්න පටන් ගත්තා. රිවිව් කරද්දී අපි අතරේ ආගියුමන්ට්ස් ගොඩක් තිබ්බා. සමහර වෙලාවට සමහර අයගේ ඔපිනියන් එක අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඇග්‍රී කරන්න නැති වුණාම අපිට මීඩියේට් කරගෙන අපි එක මම එතනදී මං කියන්න තියෙන මං දැක්ක මම හුඟක් සන්තෝෂ වුණ දෙයක් තමා අපේ කමියුනිටි එක කොච්චර පැෂනේට්ද කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් මොකක් හරි ආපුවාම ඒක ගැන හැමෝම කතා වෙලා ඒක ගැන හැමෝගෙම තමන්ගේ ඔපිනියන් එක විතරක් කන්සිඩර් කරන්නේ නැතුව අනික් අයගේ ඔපිනියන්ස් උත් කන්සිඩර් කරලා කොහොමද අපි 50-50 වගේ තැනකට ඇවිල්ලා අපි කොහොමද මතයකට එන්නේ කියන එක. ඒක ඕගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම ඒ කියන්නේ මට ඒක බලන් කියන්නේ මට ඒකට අටෙන්ඩ් වෙලා මට ඕගොල්ලෝ ඇක් කරපු විදිය ගැන මම හුඟක් සන්තෝෂ වෙනවා. and ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ තිබ්බේ පැෂන් එක මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක ගැන. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අපි කරන දේ ගැන ඕගොල්ලෝ ජෙනුවින්ලි ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ තිබ්බ පැෂන් එක ගැනත් මට හුඟක් සන්තෝෂ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද මම සමහර ප්‍රොපෝසල්ස් මම කියවලා මගේ තිබ්බ මතය මට වෙනස් කරගන්න වුණා ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ සමහර වෙලාවට මේ ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ සමහර තිබ්බ මත එක කම්පෙයාර් කරලා බලද්දි මම හිතපු නැති විදිහේ දේ අයිඩියාස් ගොඩකුත් එතන මට හම්බුණා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා ඒකෙන් මට පේන්නේ දැන් මේ අපි මේ ඩිසෙන්ට්‍රලයිසේෂන් මේ බ්ලොක්චේන් මේ කතා කරන මේ දේ මේකට ෆියුචර් එකක් තියෙනවා කියන එක අපිට තේරෙන්නේ මේ වගේ මේ ඉවෙන්ට්ස් කරවම කරද්දි තමයි අපිට තේරෙන්නේ මේක කොච්චර පවර්ෆුල් දෙයක්ද කියලා. මේ කියන්නේ ලෝකේ මිනිස්සු 10ක් 15ක් විතරක් මොන හරි චූටි දෙයක් ඩිසයිඩ් කරනවා වගේ වෙන්නේ නැතුව මේක ලොකුවට ඩිසෙන්ට්‍රලයිස් විදිහට මේ ප්‍රශ්න ගැන අපිට මේ ලෝකේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න ගැන අපිට ආගියු කරලා කන්සෙන්සස් එකට එන්න පුළුවන් එක. මං හිතන්නේ මේ බ්ලොක්චේන් ටෙක්නොලොජි ගැන ඒ කියන්නේ මේකේ වටිනාකම ගැන පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් ලොකුම උදාහරණයක් තමයි මේ බජට් ප්‍රොපෝසල්ස් ගැන අපි තියෙන මේ වර්ක්ෂොප්ස් ගැන දැක්කම මට ඇති වෙන්නේ කියන්නේ ඇති වෙන සන්තෝෂය. and දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම අපි ඊට පස්සේ ඔක්කොම මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියපු කමෙන්ට්ස් ටික ඔක්කොම එකතු කරලා අපි මේ කමෙන්ට්ස් ටික ඔක්කොම anonymously අපි කියන anonymously කියන්නේ ඕගොල්ලෝගේ නම් ගම් නැතුව ඒවට ඔක්කොම කන්ඩෙන්ස් කරලා අපි online gov tools එකේ information ටික දාලා තියෙනවා. ඕගොල්ලන්ටත් ඒවා ගිහිල්ලා කියවන්න පුළුවන්. ඒවා ටික online තියෙනවා. ඒවැ මොන හරි වෙනසක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒවැ මොන හරි දෙයක් ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතනවා නම් අපිට අමතකුණා දාන්න එක කියන්නේ ඒක සමරයිස් කරද්දී අපි හරියට දාලා නැහැ හරි මහා තියෙනවා නම් please reach out to us අපිට කියන්න මොකක් හරි මේකේ වෙනසක් වෙන්න ඕනි කියලා තියෙනවා නම් amendment එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි කරන්නම් අනිවාර්යෙන්. but ඒ ටික ඔක්කොම online තියෙනවා. ඕනෙම කෙනෙක්ට ගිහිල්ලා කියවන්න පුළුවන්. ලෝකේ ඕනෙම කෙනෙක්ට මේ gov tools මේවකට login වෙලා කියවන්න පුළුවන්. so again තව එක දෙයක් mention කරන්න ඕනේ මේ Easter Sunday කිය තමයි අපි මේ event එක කරේ. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා ඒක holiday එකක් ගොඩක් අය ඒගොල්ලෝ celebrate කරන දවසක්. ඒ ඔක්කොම තියාගෙනත් ඕගොල්ලෝ අපේ event එකට ඇවිල්ලා ඕගොල්ලෝ පැය 4-5ක් නාස්ති කියන්නේ පැය 4-5 වියදම් කරගෙන අපේ මේ event එකට ආවකට බොහොම ස්තුතියි. like බොහොම ස්තුතියි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒගොල්ලෝගේ දවස මේ ෆ්‍රී තිබ්බ දවස ඔයගොල්ලෝ අපේ වැඩක් වෙනුවෙන් ඒක යොදාගත් එකට අපිට ඒක හුඟක් ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට CoinCeylon hub එක හැටියට අපිට ඒක හුඟක් සන්තෝෂයි. so thank you very much ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම ආවට. thank you very much ඒකට attend වුණාට. and I'll hand it over back to Kavi to speak the rest.
Thank you, Malik. So I think Yadurshan, would you like to say a few words about this particular event in Tamil as well? That would be great.
Yes. Kamil, yes. So இந்த கடந்த ஈஸ்டர் சண்டேல வந்து எங்களுக்கு என்ன நினைச்சுட்டா பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல் வந்து நேரடியா வந்து எங்களுக்கு நடந்தது. உண்மையாவே ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்தது. இந்த ஈஸ்டர் சண்டேல வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 4-5 மணித்தியாலம் உங்களோட டைமை வந்து இன்டர்செக்டுக்காக நீங்க ஒதுக்கினது வந்து ரொம்ப பெரிய விஷயமா தான் எங்களுக்கு பட்டது. அப்ப எங்களோட பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல் அது உண்மையா ஏன் நடந்ததுன்னா இப்ப வந்து எங்களோட பட்ஜெட்டிங் வந்து இந்த 2025ஆம் ஆண்டுக்கான பட்ஜெட்டிங் சிஸ்டம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் மாறி இருக்கு. அதாவது கணக்க பேர் வந்து பட்ஜெட்டிங்ல வந்து ப்ரொபோசல்ஸ் வந்து நீங்க வடிவா போடலாம். அப்படி நீங்க போடுற டைம் வந்து என்ன நடக்கும்டா இப்ப டிரெப்ஸ் தான் இதுக்காக வந்து இதை வந்து சரியா பிள்ளையா இதை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளலாமான்னு முதல் வந்து எடுத்துக்கொண்டாங்க. ஆனா இப்ப என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா கம்யூனிட்டியில இருக்கிறார்கள் வந்து உங்களோட கருத்துக்களை வந்து நீங்க பதிவு செஞ்சு இதை நிராகரிக்கிறீங்களா ஏற்றுக்கொள்றீங்களான்றெல்லாம் நீங்க பேசிக்கொள்ளலாம். அப்ப அந்த ஈவெண்ட்ல வந்து நாங்க என்ன பண்ணோம்னா நாங்க ரேண்டமா 5 ப்ரொபோசல்ஸ் எடுத்து நாங்க ரேண்டமா வந்து நாங்க எல்லா டைம் வந்து அவங்களோட தாட்ஸ் அவங்களோட என்னென்ன ஐடியாஸ் இருக்குன்ட்டு அதெல்லாம் நாங்க விசாரிச்சோம். அப்ப அதுல வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் வந்து நாங்க எல்லாரும் யோசிக்காத அளவுக்கு வந்து எல்லாரும் வித்தியாசமா எல்லாம் யோசிச்சிருந்தாங்க. அதெல்லாம் பார்க்க ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்தது. அப்புறம் வந்து இந்த 5 ப்ரொபோசல்ஸ்லயும் வந்து எது நல்ல எது கூடாது, எவ்வளத்தை நீங்க ஏத்துக்கொள்றீங்க, எவ்வளவுக்கு நீங்க ஏத்துக்கொள்ளல, இது சரியா பிள்ளையாண்டு எல்லாம் யோசிக்க லைக் இதெல்லாம் நீங்க மெட்டாக்களோட கம்பைன் பண்ணி கதைச்சு பாக்குறதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்தது இப்படி எல்லாம் நடக்குதுன்னு. பிறகு வந்து இந்த 5 ப்ரொபோசல்ஸும் நாங்களாவே ஒரு ரேண்டமா தான் எடுத்தோம். நாங்க இதுதான் வேணும்னு நாங்க சூஸ் பண்ணவும் இல்லை, ரேண்டமா தான் எடுத்தோம். லைக் அப்ப இந்த பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல்ஸ் வந்து நாங்க இப்ப என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம்னா இவங்க எல்லாரையும் ஒன்று சேர்த்து இதை வந்து நாங்க எங்கட பக்கத்தால வந்து நாங்க கொடுத்துருக்கிறோம். இனி உங்களுக்கு என்னையாவது இதை தவிர வேற என்னையாவது தாட்ஸ் இல்லாட்டி என்னையாவது எக்ஸ்ட்ரா உங்களுக்கு சொல்லணும்னா ப்ளீஸ் ரீசார்ஜ் எங்களை நீங்க நாடி வரலாம். எங்களை நாடி வந்து நீங்க இதை பற்றி எங்களுக்கு சொல்லலாம். சரி, நன்றி. Yes, back to you, Karnd.
Thank you, Yadushan. I think another one that we did was the online virtual meetup session. Alongside that, we also did the virtual session where we went into the details of the Cardano budget proposals that were submitted by a lot of the community members. So we did take 5 submissions on the proposals as well, and the community actually went to really give really good feedbacks like Malik mentioned earlier, and I myself was more of a moderator for that event, but I really enjoyed going through all of these discussions that were taking place in each of the breakout rooms as we held it virtually. So many of you who missed out on the in-person event, thank you so much for coming in for this particular event, and I really appreciate it. So just to say a few words on that in Sinhala as well. අපි අර මලික් කිව්වා වගේම අපේ in person event එකට පස්සේ අපි virtual online event එකක් තව පැවැත්වුණා. ඒ online event එකේදී අපි කළේ ඒ වගේම budget proposals 5ක් අරගෙන ඒ වගේ තියෙන හොඳ දේවල් මොනවාද, වෙනස් කරන්න මොන දේවල් මොනවාද කියන එක ඒ proposal එකට comment කරන එක gov tools එකෙන්. ඉතින් ඒකට අවශ්‍ය ගොඩාක් හොඳ අයිඩියාස් කමියුනිටි එකක් විදිහට ලංකාවේ ඔයගොල්ලන් ලබා දුන්නා. ඉතින් ඒක ඒ දාපු සමහර මේ කමෙන්ට්ස් වලට ගොඩක් හොඳ ප්‍රතිචාර ලැබිලා තිබුණා ඒ ප්‍රොපෝසල්ස් සබ්මිට් කරපු අයගෙන්. ඉතින් ඒක ගැනත් මම මේ වෙලාවේදී මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මේ හැම බ්‍රේක්අවුට් රූම් එකකටම ගිහිල්ලා ඕගොල්ලන් එක කතා කරන්න ලැබීම ගැන මම සතුටු වෙනවා. මම මේක මොඩරේට් කරන්න විතරක් ඉදිරිපත් වුණාට ඕගොල්ලන්ගෙන් මේ ආපු අදහස් ඒකට ඇතුළත් කරන්න පුළුවන් වීම ගැන ඇත්තටම සතුටු වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක ඇතුළුව මේ Cardano budget proposals ප්‍රමාණය දැන් ඉතාමත්ම වේගින් ගොඩක් සබ්මිට් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඕනම එක්කෙනෙක්ට ඒක ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න පුළුවන් gov tools එකට හරි cardano-budget.com එකට හරි ගිහිල්ලා වෙබ්සයිට් එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට බලන්න පුළුවන් දැනට සබ්මිට් කරලා තියෙන දේවල් මොනවාද කියලා. ඒ වගේම ඕගොල්ලන්ට group එකක් විදිහට අපි මේ සබ්මිට් කරපු submissions වලට අමතරව ඕගොල්ලන්ට ගිහිල්ලා මොන හරි දෙයක් සබ්මිට් කරන්න අවශ්‍යතාවයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඕගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් තමන්ගේම wallet එකක් එකට connect කරලා ඉවරලා ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ comments ඒකේ දාන්න. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ඒකින් තිබුණ හොඳම දේ. මොකෝ ඒක ඩීරෙප්ස්ට ගොඩක් උදව් වෙනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තීන්දුව තීරණ ගන්න. ඉතින් අපි මේ කරපු ඉවෙන්ට්ස් වල in person event එකේ පොඩි වීඩියෝ ක්ලිප් එකක් අපි බලලා ඊළඟ සෙෂන්ස් වලට යමු. So that was the highlights session from in-person event. So thank you all for everybody who joined and everybody who missed out. We'll make sure you don't miss out the next one. With that, we'll move on to the next slide of our agenda today. So TEAMZ AI Web3 Summit, which happened in Tokyo, Japan. I myself was fortunate enough to take part in it and actually engage with the AI Web3 community in Japan. And also the Cardano community in Japan was also there in person. So it was really good to meet everybody and also find out the things that they've been doing in Japan, and also some of the Cardano builders and also companies that have been building on Cardano were also present there. So it was a really good opportunity for us to go there, meet people, and also connect with D-reps as well as other companies which are there. So you might recognize some of these faces in these pictures apart from me. So just to say a few words on that in Sinhala. TEAMZ AI සහ Web3 Summit එක පැවැත්වුණා ටෝකියෝ ජපානයේ ටෝකියෝ අගනුවර. ඒක තමයි ජපානයේ තියෙන AI සහ Web3 සමුළු වලින් ඇත්තටම විශාලම අවධානයක් දිනා ගන්න සමුළුවක්. ඉතින් ඒකට ලෝපුරා මේ බ්ලොක්චේන් සමාගම් වල අය ගොඩක් ඇවිල්ලා හිටියේ. ඒ වගේම කඩානෝ සම්බන්ධ ගොඩක් කම්පනීස් වල කට්ටිය සහ දේවල් බිල්ඩ් කරන අය ගොඩක් ඇවිල්ලා හිටියා. ඉතින් එතනදී අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා හබ් එක නියෝජනය කරන්න ලැබීම මට ඇත්තටම ඉතාමත්ම සතුටුයි. ඒ වගේම මෙතන කීප දෙනෙක්ගේ මූණවල ඔයගලන් අඳුර ගන්නත් පුළුවන් ඇති. ඔයගලන් මේ කඩානෝ සංවිධානය ඇතුලේ ඉන්නවා නම් මේ කීප දෙනෙක් මෙතන ඉන්නවා ඉතාමත්ම දන්න අය මේ කමියුනිටි එක ඇතුලේ. ඒ වගේම ඩීරෙප්ස්ලා මේක ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් ඒ අවස්ථාවක් අපිට ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් ලැබුණා. ලංකාවේ ඇතුළේ අපි මොනවද කරන්න කියන එක වගේම ඒගොල්ලන් කියනවා වගේම ජපානයේ ඇතුලේ මොනවද මේ වෙන්නේ කියන එක සහ ඒ අලුත් ideas මොනවද දැනට develop වෙන දේවල් මොනවද කියන එක බලන්න ඇත්තටම ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් අපිට තිබුණා. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද ඒක ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් වුණා. ඇත්තටම ඒක ගැන පොඩි විස්තරයක් කියන්න මම යදුර්ෂන් ඉන්න කරනවා. යදුර්ෂන්, would you like to say a few words on that?
Yes, Kavinda, yes. ஸோ இந்த மாதம் என்னென்ன அடுத்த இவெண்ட்டை வந்து நாங்கள் என்ன நிகழ்ச்சியை என்ன பார்க்குறோம்னா, இந்த மாதம் வந்து எங்களோட ஹப்ல இருந்து எங்களோட காவிந்தா வந்து ஜப்பான் நாட்டுக்கு போயிருந்தேன். அப்போ அதில் வந்து டீம்ஸ் ஏஐ அண்ட் வெப்3 சமிட் அப்படி வந்து ஒரு இவெண்ட் ஒன்று நடந்தது. அப்போ அதில் வந்து என்னென்னா ஏஐயும் வெப்3யும் உண்டா சேர்ந்து இருக்கிற ஆக்கள், பிளாக்செயின் சம்பந்தமான ஆக்கள், அவங்க எல்லாரும் வந்து இந்த ஜப்பான் நாட்டில் வந்து ஒன்று சேர்ந்து இந்த இவெண்ட் வந்து நடந்தது. அப்போ இதில் வந்து கார்டானோ சம்பந்தமாக கார்டானோட பின்னால் இருந்து வேலை செய்கிற ஆக்கள் கன பேர் வந்து வந்திருந்திருக்கிறாங்களாம். அப்ப அந்த வந்த ஆக்களோட வந்து இவரெல்லாம் போய் கதைச்சு அவங்களோட தாட்ஸ் எடுத்து எங்களோட ஸ்ரீலங்கா ஹப்பை பற்றி பேசி இதெல்லாம் பண்ணது வந்து ரொம்ப பெருமைக்குரிய விஷயமா தான் இருந்தது. அப்ப நீங்க படத்துல பார்த்துருக்கீங்கன்னா நீங்க பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, இவங்க எல்லாரும் எங்களோட ஏற்கனவே இந்த மீட்டிங்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்திருப்பாங்க. அப்ப எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்ச முகங்களா உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. அப்ப எஸ், பேக் டு யூ காவிந்த்.
Thank you, Adurshan. So alongside this TEAMZ and Web3 event, there was also another event that was taking place in Japan that I was fortunate enough to be a part of, which was the Next Tech Week Blockchain Expo that was happening in Tokyo, Japan as well. This is the Cardano booth that was in that particular expo. So you had a lot of AI companies as well as Web3 companies, which are based in Japan, who are doing things exhibiting here. And I was fortunate enough to actually go and meet with all of these people and find out the kind of work that has been happening in this space. And I was really blown away by the amount of new ideas that are coming out in very creative ways. So these are some of these, if you look at some of these pictures, you'll see some of these projects that are happening in Japan are also exhibited here. So likewise, it was a very good opportunity to do that. And alongside this Web3 Summit as well as the Japan Expo, Blockchain Expo in Japan, we also had a number of different workshops, and I was able to attend most of them in person. One was hosted by Socius, one was hosted by Emergo, and another one hosted by the Intersect Japan Hub, which I was really happy to be a part of. And also we had the hub bench from the WADA hub. Josh was also there in person. Josh was also in person, and it was really nice to see InterHub relations coming together. So just to say a few words on that, blockchain AI TEAMZ summit එකට සමගාමීව next tech week blockchain expo කියන event එකක් පැවැත්වුණා ටෝකියෝ ජපානයේ ටෝකියෝ අගනුවර. එතන මේ පින්තූරයෙන් තියෙන්නේ මේ කඩානෝ බූත් එක තමයි මේ පින්තූරේ තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ ජපානයේ ඇතුලේ blockchain තාක්ෂණය සහ web3 තාක්ෂණය කොයි විදිහටද evolve වෙන්නේ මොන විදිහේ දේවල් අලුතෙන් හැදෙන්නේ කියන එක බලා ගන්න ඇත්තටම ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් වුණා. ඉතින් අපේ දැන් අපි සිංහලෙන් කතා කරනවා වගේ අපි කියන්න ඕන දෙයක් තමයි මේ සම්පූර්ණ මේ blockchain expo 99%ක්ම තිබුණ ස්ටෝල්ස් තිබුණේ ජපන් භාෂාවෙන්. ඉතින් තමන්ගේ භාෂාව පාවිච්චි කරලා ඒ තාක්ෂණයට යොමු වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එකට ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ උදාහරණයක් එතනදී මට S2කින්ම දකින්න ලැබුණා. ඉතින් ඒක ලංකාවේ ඇතුළත අපි කොහොමද ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න කියන දේ අනිවාර්යෙන්ම අපි දැන් ඉදිරියට ප්ලෑන් කරගෙන යනවා. මොකද ඒකට හේතුව මේ ජපාන වගේ රටක් blockchain තාක්ෂණය තුලින් තමන්ගේ භාෂාව නිසා හිරවීමකට ලක් කරගෙන නැහැ. ඒ තමන්ගේ භාෂාවත් පාවිච්චි කරගෙන කොහොමද මේ තාක්ෂණයට ඇතුළත් වෙන්නේ කියන එක ඉතාමත්ම හොඳට අඳුරගෙන තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක හොඳම අවස්ථාවක් වුණා අපිට ඒක දැනගන්න. ඒ වගේම මේ TEAMZ event එක සහ blockchain events දෙක අතරතුර තවත් events කීපයක් පැවැත්වුණා, workshops කීපයක් පැවැත්වුණා. එකක් ඉමෝගෝ සංවිධානයෙන් ප්ලෑන් කරපු එකක්. ඒ වගේම තව එකක් සෝසියස් සමාගමෙන් කරන එකක්. ඒ වගේම Intersect ජපාන හබ් එකෙන් කරන ඉවෙන්ට් එකකටත් අපිට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න ලැබුණා. ඇත්තටම එතනදී ඇෆ්‍රිකා හබ් එකේ ජොෂුවත් ඒකට එකතු වුණා. ඉතින් ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක්. සියලුම දෙනා මේකට එකතු වුණා. ඉතින් කඩානු සම්බන්ධ කඩානු සංවිධානයට සම්බන්ධ සියලුම ආයතන ඉන්පුට් අවුට්පුට් ආයතනය වගේම කඩානු ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් ආයතනයත් ඉමර්ගෝ ආයතනයත් ඉන්ටර්සෙක්ට් ආයතනයත් මේ සියලුම සංවිධාන එකට එකතු වුණ තැනක් විදිහට කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඉතාමත්ම ඒක හරිම රෙයා ඔකේෂන් එකක්. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ දේවල් අපි ලංකාවේ හබ් එකට අපිට අරගෙන ආපහු අරගෙන එන්න පුළුවන් වීම ගැන ඉතාමත්ම සතුටු වෙනවා. Yadurshan, would you like to say a few words on the blockchain expo as well?
Yes, Kavinder, thank you. Yes, yeah. இப்போ இந்த டீம்ஸ் ஏஐயோட அந்த இவெண்ட்டோட சேர்த்து இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக் வீக்கெண்ட் ஒரு சாமானம் வந்து ஒரு இவெண்ட் வந்து எங்களோட ஜப்பான் நாட்டில் வந்து ஒரு இவெண்ட் ஒரு எக்ஸ்போ ஒன்று வந்து ஜப்பான்ல நடந்தது. அப்ப இதை நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இது வந்து ஒரு கார்டானோ பூத். அப்ப இந்த கார்டானோ பூத்ல நீங்க வந்து அங்க காவிந்தர் சொன்ன மாதிரி இங்க இருக்கிற 99% ப்ரொஜெக்ட்ஸ் எங்க அவங்களோட கண்ணில் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. அப்ப அந்த 99% ப்ரொஜெக்ட்ஸும் வந்து ஜப்பான்ட அவங்களோட மொழியில வந்து அப்ப அவங்க பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்களோட மொழியில தான் அப்ப வந்து அவங்க மொழிபெயர்த்து இருக்கிறாங்க. அப்ப இதுல இருந்து வந்து காவிந்த் என்ன சொல்ல வர்றாருன்னா எங்கட நாட்டுல அப்ப எங்களுக்கான மொழியில வந்து நாங்களும் வந்து கார்டானோ வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி ப்ரொஜெக்ட்ஸை நாங்க மாத்தி கொள்ளலாம். அப்ப அது மட்டும் இல்லாம நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா இவங்களோட ப்ரொஜெக்ட்ஸை பார்த்து லைக் எல்லா ப்ரொஜெக்ட்ஸும் வந்து இப்ப இதுல பாத்திருக்க மாதிரி எல்லாத்தையும் வந்து அந்த போர்டுல ஒட்டி இருக்கிறாங்க. அப்ப இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் டெக்குக்கும் அந்த முதல் டீம்ஸ் ஏஐயோடையும் சேர்த்து நடுவுல வந்து கணக்க விஷயங்கள் எல்லாம் கணக்க இது கணக்க இமர்கோவாலையும் சோஷியஸாலையும் வந்து கணக்க இவெண்ட்ஸ் நடந்திருக்கு. அப்ப அந்த இவெண்ட்ஸுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் வந்து போய் சேர்ந்து எல்லாரோடையும் இணைந்து ஜப்பான் ஹப் ஆக்களோடையும் இணைந்து வேலை செய்யறது வந்து ரொம்ப பெரிய விஷயமா தான் நாங்கள் எல்லாருக்கும் இருந்தது. அதாவது எல்லா ஹப்ல இருக்க எல்லாரையும் ஒன்றிணைத்து நாங்களா வந்து எல்லாரும் ஒன்றிணைத்து எல்லாரும் ஒரு முடிவுக்கு வந்த மாதிரி எல்லாருக்கும் தோணியிருக்கு. எஸ், பேக் டு யூ காவிந்தர்.
Thank you, Yadurshan. So with that, we move on to Vietnam. It was right after these summits in Tokyo. We were able to go into the Cardano Builder Fest that was happening in Da Nang, Vietnam. And as you can see, some of these faces that are on this picture, you will probably not get to see much, but I can guarantee that these are some of the brightest minds that are currently working on Cardano who were able to make it there, some of whom are not there, but most of these people who you might know the name of their product or service that they offer, or some of whom you might not even ever heard of in name, but these are some of the faces of people who have built this technology and the tools and services for it. So it is really interesting opportunity for myself and also Malik from CoinCeylon to be a part of this event and also get involved and get to chat to all of these builders and amazing minds on Cardano, to connect with them after a very long time as well. So it had a series of events that were linked to it, which were workshops and also discussions, panel discussions, as you can see, on different aspects of it, and how these technologies are going to go into the future, how these technologies are evolving in the next couple of years. All of these things were discussed. So we had developers also from Asia, as well as all of these regions across the world. And we even had people who are currently in the US in all of these programs, such as the Rape University program. They were all flying down for this as well. So it was a really good opportunity to have people on board. As you can see, some of these faces you probably do recognize in these pictures, some of these technologies that are currently being built. So it was a really good opportunity for us to actually engage with them and find out the kind of things that are being built and bring it back to the local community here in Sri Lanka. Just to say a few words in Sinhala, Cardano Builder Fest එක පැවැත්වුණා දනයන් වියට්නාම් වල දනයන් නුවර. ඇත්තටම කඩානෝ පද්ධතියේ මේ දේවල් නිෂ්පාදනය කරන සහ නිපදවන අයව ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කාටවත් දකින්න ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන් පෙනීන්නේ නැති නිසා. ඉතින් මෙතන මේ පින්තූරය ඉතාමත්ම රෙයා පින්තූරයක්. මොකද මේ වගේ පින්තූරයක් ලේසි නැහැ ගන්න. මොකෝ ඔක්කොලාගේ මේ කඩානෝ සංවිධානය තුළ දේවල් නිෂ්පාදනය කරන ගොඩක් අය පින්තූර වල නැහැ. ගොඩක් අය ඒගොල්ලන් දකින්න ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඉතාමත්ම කලාතුරකින් දකින්න ලැබෙන පින්තූරයක් මේ පල්ලෙහා තියෙන ඔක්කොලාම. ඉතින් මේකේ ඇත්තටම ඒ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට සහභාගී වුණ සියලුම දෙනාත් නැහැ. නමුත් මේකේ 75ක් විතර කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් එතනදී මේ කඩානු පද්ධතිය තුළ දේවල් නිෂ්පාදනය වෙන්නේ කොහොමද, ඉදිරියට දේවල් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද, වෙනස් විය යුත්තේ කොහොමද, කම්පනීස් කනෙක්ට් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන දේවල් ගැන ගොඩාක් විස්තර අපි කතා කළා. ඒ වගේම මේ ලංකාව වගේ හබ් එකක් ඇතුළත කොහොමද දේවල් කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඉදිරියේදී මේ වගේ බිල්ඩර් ෆෙස්ටිවල්ස් ලංකාව වගේ රටක පවත්වන්නේ කොහොමද කියන දේවල් පවා අපි කතා කරා. ඉතින් ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් වුණා අපිට කඩානු CoinCeylon Intersect Hub එක විදිහට මේ Cardano Builder Fest එකට සහභාගී වීමට. Yadurshan, would you like to say a few words on this?
Yes, Kavinda. Yes. So அடுத்த நிகழ்ச்சியா வந்து என்னன்னா கார்டானோ பில்டர் ஃபேஸ் வந்து தனாங் வியட்நாம் வந்து நடந்தது. அதுல வந்து முக்கியமா என்ன நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கார்டானோட பின்னால இருந்து வேலை செய்யறாங்க. அதாவது நீங்க இந்த மாதிரியான முகங்களை வந்து நீங்க முதல்ல பாத்துருக்க மாட்டீங்க. இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு ரேர் போட்டோன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதாவது இவங்க எல்லாம் முகத்தை காட்டவும் மாட்டாங்க. ஏன்னா இவங்க எல்லாரும் பின்னால இருந்து வேலை செய்யறாங்க. அப்ப இவங்களோட வந்து பில்டர் ஃபெஸ்ட்டுக்கு வந்து எங்களோட CoinCeylon Intersect Hubல இருந்து எங்களோட காவிந்தவும் மலிக்கும் வந்து போயிருக்கிறாங்க. அப்ப இவங்களுக்கு வந்து அங்க போயிட்டு ஒரு பில்டர் ஃபெஸ்ட் அங்க எப்படி நடந்திருக்கு அப்படின்னா இப்ப ஒருவேளை வந்து எங்களோட ஸ்ரீலங்கால வந்து அப்படி நாங்க பண்றோம்னா எப்படி எல்லாம் பண்ணணும், அந்த மாதிரியான கணக்கு ஐடியாஸ், கணக்கு ஒர்க் ஷாப்ஸ், அப்ப அந்த மாதிரியான ஐடியாஸும் ஒர்க் ஷாப்ஸ் எல்லாம் போயிட்டு இந்த மாசத்துல வந்து அவங்க போயிட்டு வந்திருக்கிறாங்க.
So with that, I would like to call Isru to speak a little bit about the Intersect Committee Elections. Intersect Committee Elections ගැන පොඩි වචනයක් කතා කරන්න මම ඉන්වයිට් කරනවා ඉස්රුට. ඉස්රු.
Thank you, Kavinda. Intersect මැතිවරණ කමිටුව මැතිවරණ ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමට ගැන තමයි මම කතා කරන්නේ. Intersect කමිටුව මැතිවරණේ ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කිරීම සඳහා තව සතියක පමණ කාලයක් තමයි ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ. අපි ඇත්තටම ඉන්වයිට් කරනවා Intersect members ලාට පුළුවන් තරම් Cardano blockchain එකේ අනාගතය ගොඩනගා ගන්න. ඇවිල්ලා එකතු වෙලා මේ members ලාට vote කරලා Cardano පද්ධතිය දායක වෙන්න කියලා. මේ වර ඇත්තටම committees 8කට members select කරන්න තියෙනවා. voting එක ඇත්තටම පටන් ගත්තේ අප්‍රේල් 16 වෙනිදා ඉඳලා තියෙනවා මැයි 7 වෙනිදා වෙනකම්. Intersect මැතිවරණේ results ටික announce කරන්න තියෙනවා මැයි 12 වෙනිදාට. ඉතින් මේ සතිය ඇතුළත ආරාධනා කරනවා සියලුම දෙනාට හැකි ඉක්මනට ගිහිල්ලා ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කරලා මේ කමිටුවට සුදුසුකම් පත් කරන්න. ඒ සහ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ අපේ ස්ලයිඩ් එකේ තියෙනවා link එක. මේ link එක හරහා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට join වෙලා පුළුවන් vote කරන්න. යදුෂන් පාට මේ ගැන ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න වෙනවා translation එක ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් සහතින් Tamil.
Okay, so the Intersect Committee Elections is currently happening. So there are the voting deadline is on the 7th of May. So do vote, make your voice, just try to make a change. So the voting deadline will be on 7th of May at 12 noon, and the results will be announced on the 12th of May at 12 noon UTC. So if you want to know about more information about the voting and the results, like how to vote and those stuff, just go to www.intersectmbo.org. Like you can see the link in the slides. So if I am translating this to Tamil, so இப்போ currently voting வந்து committee election வந்து நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கு. அப்ப அந்த எலெக்ஷன்ல வந்து டெட்லைன் வந்து 7ஆம் தேதி மே மாசம் நடக்குது. அப்ப அதோட வந்து இந்த voting முடிஞ்சிடும். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து உங்களுக்கான ரிசல்ட்ஸ் வந்து எப்ப வருதுன்னா மே 12ஆம் தேதி வருது. ஸோ இது பற்றின உங்களுக்கு வேற தகவல்கள் வேணுமெண்டா உங்களோட கண்ணுக்கு தெரியுற அந்த பேஜ்ல இருக்கிற இந்த லிங்கை வந்து நீங்க தட்டி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, அதாவது www.intersectmbo.org குள்ள நீங்க போனீங்கன்னா இதை பற்றி நீங்க மேலதிக தகவல்கள் வந்து நீங்க பார்த்துக்கொள்ளலாம். Yes, back to you, Kam.
Thank you, Adurshan, and thank you, Isuru. So with that, just before we go on to the newsletter updates, I would also like to say a few words on this. It's the fact that as you vote, just keep in mind that you can vote for all of the committees. So make sure that you go through all of these applications and cast for all of the committees. Make sure you cast your vote. With the amount of seats that are being contested, that's the amount of voting power you will have. So make sure that you do cast your vote and cast your vote for all of the committees. Make sure you cast your vote for all of the committees and make sure that you bring people who are really capable of shaping the Cardano's future onto this platform. We need new voices to come up. So make sure that you do go through it and cast your vote. So with that, I would like to go into the Intersect newsletter updates. So I would like to invite Sanjay to go through the Intersect newsletter updates and discuss what's been happening around the ecosystem and at Intersect, which you might have not seen, or if you missed out the Intersect newsletters, this is the time for you to go through it and listen closely and find out what's been happening. Sanjay, over to you.
Hi, thanks, Kavinder. Good evening, everyone. I'm not going to take too much of your time because we have a session for Q&A as well, but just let me start up my screen. The latest update that we have, which is update 59, basically sums up what's been happening at Intersect for the past month or so. To start off, if you move on to our next slide, we have the launch of the Cardano microsite, which was launched with Intersect and in partnership with Scribe3 to celebrate the Cardano governance evolution. So this site basically has a mixture of various community contributions as well as transparency in governance. And moving on to the next slide, we have some key important facts that need to be touched on. First is the budget reconciliation workshop series, which was held from the 26th to the 28th. And this had DREPs participating in talks for budget priorities, funding principles, and governance tooling. Next up is the budget action pass for the net change limit with a 69% support. Now, the net change limit basically is the treasury spending for 2025. And lastly, the Intersect 2025 budget proposal, which saw Intersect submitting a proposal for 10 million USD to basically focus on the product roadmap as well as committee election moving forward and the regional hub expansion. As Kavinda and Isuru and Yadushan mentioned, the election, the voting period is still up, and you have the seats as well as the amount of candidates and the votes casted so far. A quick reminder, in case you want to know more about the candidates who are running for the seats, you can basically go on to the dashboard and basically read up on the proposals that they've submitted for their election campaign, as well as 2 more AMAs that are going to be happening on the 1st of May and the 6th of May. So if you want to catch the candidates one last time before the elections close up, then that is going to be your chance too. So don't forget to tune in. You might be able to get them on X. And moving forward from that, in terms of our newest enterprise member spotlight, Gimba Labs has joined the fold. Now, Gimba Labs is an entity basically using Cardano to accelerate through, to basically focus on accelerating Cardano's adoption through projects which include Plutus and the Dandelion infrastructure project. And away from that, we have the community hubs. Now, the community hubs have been very busy this month, as Kavinda and Malik mentioned before, focusing on budget proposals. And so Japan has hosted a X Space on the 25th. And as you can see, LATAM, Sri Lanka, the Africa Hub, as well as Europe and North America have been focusing their efforts on virtual and in-person budget review events. And that's basically it for me. I will go back to the start to basically explain the whole process back in Sinhala as well. May April මාසෙට Intersect එක සම්බන්ධයෙන් තිබ්බ updates වෙනුවට තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර Cardano microsite එකේ launch එක Intersect එක Scribe 3 කියන ආයතනයත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙලා Cardano governance evolution එක වෙනුවෙන් launch කරපු site එක තමයි මේ. ඉතින් මේ site එකේ ගොඩාක් community contributions with transparency and governance වෙනුවෙන් තමයි මේ site එක launch කරේ. ඊට ඉස්සරහට තව විශේෂ කාරණා තුනක් ගැන කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. එකක් තමයි budget reconciliation workshop series එක අප්‍රේල් 26 ඉඳන් 28 වෙනකන් තමයි event එක තිබ්බේ online. ඉතින් ඒකට DREPS සම්බන්ධ වෙලා budget proposals ගැන තමයි සාකච්ඡා කරේ. දෙවෙනි එක තමයි net change limit එකේ governance action එක pass වෙච්ච එක 69%ක ප්‍රතිශතයෙන් තමයි action එක pass වුනේ. අනිත් එක තමයි Intersect 2025 budget proposal එක Intersect එක budget proposal එකක් submit කරා $10 million 10ක් ඉල්ලලා ඒකෙන් ගොඩක්ම focus කරන්නේ product roadmap එක improve කරන්නයි committee elections උයි ඉදිරියට අලුතෙන් එන regional hubs expand කරන්න තමයි ඒක ඒ proposal එක submit කරේ. ඉතින් election සම්බන්ධයෙන් මම වැච්චර ගොඩක් කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මොකෝ කාවින්දයි ඉසුරුයි ඒක ගැන ඔයගොල්ලන්ට explain කරා but ඕගොල්ලන්ට elections වලට ඉල්ලන කට්ටිය ගැන තව වැඩි විස්තර දැනගන්න ඕන නම් Intersect dashboard එකට login වෙලා ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ personal statements ටික බලාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කියවන්න පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ vision and mission එක ඒගොල්ලන් committee එකට join වුණොත් මොකද ඒගොල්ලන් කරන්න කියන එක දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක තමයි May 1 වෙනිදායි May 6 වෙනිදායි online AMA spotlight එකට ඕගොල්ලන් සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. තව ඒගොල්ලන් ගැන තව වැඩි විස්තර දැනගන්න ඕනේ නම්. ඊළඟට අලුතෙන් Intersect එකට enterprise member කෙනෙක් හැටියට Gimba Labs join වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලන් Cardano adoption එක වැඩි දුරටත් improve කරන්න හදනවා Plutus උයි Dandelion infrastructure project සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන. අන්තිමට තමයි අපේ community hubs පැත්තෙන් බැලුවොතින් දැන් අප්‍රේල් මාසේ community hubs ඔක්කොම කාවින්ද කිව්වා වගේ budget proposal reviews වලට තමයි ගොඩක් ඒගොල්ලන් effort එක focus කරලා තිබ්බේ. ඉතින් Japan hub එක X-Space එකක් host කරා අප්‍රේල් 25 LATAM hub එකයි Sri Lanka hub එකයි African hub එකයි Europe North American hub එක ඔක්කොම focus කරේ මේ budget proposal එක වෙනුවෙන් තමයි physical and online events. I think ඒ ටික තමයි මගේ පැත්තෙන් තියෙන්නේ. If Yadurshan would like to say a few words in that, if he could follow up on it, that would be great. If not, I can basically pass it on back to Kavinda.
Yes. So இந்த முறை டெவலப்மெண்ட் நியூஸ் லெட்டர்ல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா முதலாவது கார்டானோ மைக்ரோசைட் வந்து லான்ச் ஆயிருக்கு. அப்ப அது வந்து எப்படின்னா ஸ்கிரைப் 3ஆல வந்து இன்டர்செக்ட் வந்து லான்ச் ஆயிருக்கு. ஸோ இது வந்து கவர்னன்ஸ் எவல்யூஷனுக்காக வந்து கார்டானோட கவர்னன்ஸ் எவல்யூஷனுக்காக வந்து கார்டானோ மைக்ரோசைட் வந்து ஒன்று லான்ச் ஆயிருக்கு ஸ்கிரைப் 3ல. ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா முக்கியமா 3 விஷயம் நடந்திருக்கு. முதலாவது வந்து பட்ஜெட் ரெக்கன்சிலியேஷன் ஒர்க் ஷாப் சீரீஸ், அதாவது ஒரு 3 நாள் சீரீஸ் வந்து டிரெப்ஸை வந்து ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி பட்ஜெட் ப்ரையாரிட்டிஸை வச்சு நாங்கள் வந்து ஏப்ரல் 26ல இருந்து 27, 28 மட்டும் நடந்திருக்கு. அதுக்கப்புறம் ரெண்டாவது என்ன நடந்திருக்குன்னா நெட் சேஞ்ச் லிமிட் கவர்னன்ஸ் செக்ஷன் பாஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. அதாவது கிட்டத்தட்ட 69% சப்போர்ட் ட்ரெஷரி ஸ்பெண்டிங் அதெல்லாம் பற்றி 2025க்கான ட்ரெஷரி ஸ்பெண்டிங் பற்றி எல்லாம் வந்து இந்த ரெண்டாவது இதில் சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. மூன்றாவது இதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமா எல்லா ஹப்லையும் நடந்திருக்கு. இந்த இன்டர்செக்ட் 2025 பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல் நடந்திருக்கு. ஸோ அது வந்து அந்த 2025க்கான 2025-2026க்கான கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 10 மில்லியன் ஃபண்டிங் ப்ரொபோசல் வந்து நடந்திருக்கு. ஸோ இன்டர்செக்ட் கமிட்டி எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து எல்லாரும் சொன்ன மாதிரி கிட்டத்தட்ட இப்போ நீங்கள் எலெக்ஷன்ஸை வந்து நீங்கள் ஃபுல்லாக பார்க்கலாம். கிட்டத்தட்ட 8 to 9 இல்லை கமிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு. நீங்கள் அதில் வந்து உங்களோட ஓட்ஸை வந்து நீங்கள் போடலாம். கிட்டத்தட்ட 7 நாள் தான் மிச்சமாக இருக்கு. நீங்கள் அதில் வந்து இவங்களை பற்றி யார் யார் எலெக்ஷன்ல இருக்கிறாங்க இல்லாட்டி அவங்களை பற்றி மோர் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் வேணுமெண்டா ஏப்ரல் 29 மே 1ஆம் தேதி மே 6ஆம் தேதி வந்து அவங்களோட ஏஎம்ஏ அப்ளிகன்ஸ் வந்து நடக்குது. நீங்க அதுல போனீங்கன்னா நீங்க அவங்கள பற்றி அவங்க என்ன செய்ய போறாங்கன்னு அந்த இவெண்ட் பற்றி எல்லாம் நீங்க பார்க்கலாம். எஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் கிம்பல் லேப்ஸ் ஒரு சாமான் ஒன்று வந்து கார்டானோட வந்து அடாப்ஷன்ல இது வந்திருக்கு. லைக் ஹேண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ்ல வந்து லைக் ப்ளூட்டஸ் டெண்டலியனம் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் ப்ராஜெக்ட்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு என்டர்பிரைஸ் மெம்பர்ஷிப் ஸ்பாட்லைட்டுக்காக வந்து கிம்பல் லேப்ஸ் வந்து எங்களோட கார்டானோட வந்து இணைஞ்சிருக்குன்னு நாங்கள் சொல்லலாம். ஸோ மெயின்லி இந்த மாதம் வந்து கம்யூனிட்டி ஹப் இவெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து மெயின்லி வந்து பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல்ஸ் தான் எல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கு. முதலாவது நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஜப்பான் ஹப் வந்து எக்ஸ்பேஸோட வந்து இணைஞ்சு பண்ணியிருக்கு. அப்புறம் லேட்டம் ஹப் வந்து அதுவும் பட்ஜெட் ப்ரொபோசல் தான். அப்புறம் ஸ்ரீலங்கா ஹப், ஆப்பிரிக்கா, நார்த் அமெரிக்கா எல்லாரும் வந்து இந்த பட்ஜெட் ரிவ்யூவை தான் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. அதை நீங்கள் இந்த மாதத்துல நீங்கள் வழியை பார்க்கலாம். அவ்வளவுதான். Back to you, Kavinder.
Thank you, Adurshan, and thank you, Sanjay. So with that, I think we are coming to the end of our town hall. So the floor is open for any questions and feedback any of the community members would have. Please put them on the chat or please raise your hand and we'd be more than happy to give you the floor. So we have a couple of more minutes. I think we are strangely on time today. So with that, I will leave the floor open for a couple of more minutes. If you have any questions, please put them on the chat or raise your hand. I'll be more than happy to take it up. All right. Since there doesn't seem to be any questions or feedback yet, we'll still keep it open. If you do have any questions, please do put it through. I know it's a lot to absorb that's been going on in this month of April, and that is us just lightly touching upon the budget aspect. There's a lot of things happening on sidelines. There's a new voting tool there as well for the D-reps. Go check it out. That's there too. I think it was missed out on the newsletter updates, but however, there is a new voting tool. Do go check it out. And there's a lot of new tools that are governance tools that are being built by the community members. Do go check them out. Not just GovTools. Tools. There's a lot of other tools that are being built by the community. So go check them out, and then you will get a better idea as to what's happening. So with that, as we come to a close, since there doesn't seem to be any questions, I'm assuming everything's clear. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us via socials. And we will be having a lot of countdowns going on in the next couple of days. And I need to reiterate again, the Intersect elections is really important. Make sure all of you cast your votes and make sure that you do go through all of these applicants and their details in their profiles, the applications that they've submitted, and do your due diligence and then cast your vote, and make sure that you cast your vote across all of the committees, as Sanjay, Yadurshan and Isuru mentioned as well. Make sure you go through the applications and make sure that you cast your vote, because your vote will help change the future direction of Cardano. So make sure that you do cast that vote very wisely. I think at the same time, I see Malik is raising a hand. Let me give you the floor, Malik. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing. Like when you're voting, if there's any issues, any technical issues, please let us know, because we had a couple of people contact us and let us know that there were issues. We actually contacted Intersect also, and as far as we can tell now, those issues seem to have been fixed. So if anybody else has any kind of any issue, please, that's what we are here for. So reach out to us.
Thank you, Malik. Yes, that's absolutely important. So if you do have any problems in voting, please do reach out to us and we'll get that message across. And if you would want to talk to anybody from Intersect directly, please go into the Discord, post your questions there as well. And we'd be more than happy to help out if there is an issue. So make sure that you cast your vote. Make sure you go through the budget proposals, give your feedback, talk about them on socials as much as you can, and make sure that you are actively getting involved and becoming a part of Cardano that actually changes the future direction of Cardano. So with that line, I'll just close off the flow for today. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in from around the world and in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much. Let's build the future of Cardano together. Good night.